Hello, good morning students. Today we discuss about the laws of inertia. First of all, we have to study about the inertia. In a previous chapter, we have discussed about the kinematics, in which we do not know about the causes of the motion. But in this case, we know about the causes of motion. So first of all, we have to study about the inertia. It is the inherent property in which it has tendency to oppose any change of the state of the body. It has the tendency of every body. So inertia is the inherent property, and it is the three type. First, inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. And inertia of rest means body has tendency to maintain its rest position unless any external force act on it and compel to the change of the state. That is the inertia of the rest. Inertia of rest, it is the inertia, it is the inertial property. It is the property of rest body which has tendency to maintain its state, state of rest or motion, a state of rest, until it is compelled by any external force. For example, suppose we are standing in a bus and suddenly bus is started. We always exert a jerk at the backward side. Why? Because when bus is started, the lower part of the body becomes in the motion along with the bus. But our upper part of body still has to maintain their rest position. That's why we feel the jerk at other side. We feel the jerk at the back side. Another example, we are always beating a stick on a carpet. Then what happens? Carpet becomes in a motion, but the dust particle remains in a rest position. So these are the example of inertia of rest. Another is the inertia of motion. Inertia of motion is actually inherent property of the moving body, in which tendency to maintain its motion unless until any external force compel to it change its position. Okay? So it is the inherent property of moving body which has tendency to maintain its motion of a state. For example, if bus is suddenly stop, we feel the jerk in forward side. Do you know? To save from this jerk, we are using the seat belt during the driving the car or bus. So that is the inertia of motion. You have already know, and you have already studied in a 9th class. Inertia Actually, this portion is not included in a syllabus this year. It is already deleted. But without knowing the inertia, we can't explain the further any topic in this chapter. So inertia of third one is the inertia of direction. When when the bus is moving and taking the turn at circular path, we feel the jerk at the outer side. मतलब जैसे वो टर्न लेता है तो हमारे लोअर पार्ट का बॉडी तो डायरेक्शन चेंज कर लेता है, लेकिन जो अपर पार्ट का बॉडी है वो डायरेक्शन चेंज नहीं कर पाता है. उसकी टेंडेंसी होती है उसी डायरेक्शन में रहने की. तो दैट इज द इनर्शिया ऑफ द डायरेक्शन. In this property, body has tendency to oppose the change of direction. Oppose the change of direction. So it is the three type of inertia in such inherent property has the three type: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Okay. Now we come to the new, and this concept is given by Galileo. Now we come to Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. It is also the deleted part. But without knowing the law, how can you explain the other terms like impulse and everything? So, first law of motion. What is the first law? Everybody continue its state of rest or motion unless any external force act on it and compel to change its state. It is the first one. Okay? Just look in first law. Actually, its first part explain the inertia of rest, and another part is explain the inertia of motion. That's why it is also known as the law of inertia. The first part of this law explain about the inertia of rest, while other part explain about the inertia of motion. Therefore, it is called law of inertia. Okay? And what is another conclusion? Very important conclusion is that it gives the causes of the motion. Definition of the causes of the motion, that is called the force. So definition of force is given by first law. What is force? Force is the causes force is a causes which has tendency to change or try to change the state of the body, a state of body by which it is acted. That is called the force. The definition of force is given by the first law. So very important law is the first law. जब तक हम फोर्स नहीं लगाएंगे बॉडी मूव नहीं करेगा. Okay? Now come to the second law. Just we studied in a short because this part is already deleted. So what is the second law? Before explaining the second law, we have to know about the certain physical quantity. So one of that quantity is the momentum. So what is the momentum? Momentum is nothing but it is a property of the moving body which tells us whether force act on the body or not. Whether force act on the body or not. So it indicated by the momentum. So what is the momentum? Momentum, it is the product of mass and velocity. Mass and velocity of moving body. It is denoted by P and it is a vector quantity, that's why it is M into U, M into V. Okay? By a study of linear momentum, we know whether force act on body or not. बॉडी पे फोर्स लग रही है या नहीं लग रही है, ये बात हमें मोमेंटम बता देता है. तो अब मोमेंटम का फोर्स से रिलेशन क्या है वो हम सबसे पहले डिस्कस करेंगे कि मोमेंटम का फोर्स से क्या रिलेशन है. Relation between linear momentum and the force. Relation between linear momentum and force. Suppose any body is started from here with any body is at rest. Now we apply the certain force on a body and body moving up to the certain distance and its velocity becomes u. Initially, suppose initially it is moving with the velocity v, and now we apply the force. When we apply the force, there must be producing the acceleration, and due to that acceleration, body is moving the certain distance after the timing t, and its velocity becomes v, final velocity. This velocity getting after t time. Let now initial linear momentum. What is the initial linear momentum is there? Linear momentum. And it is equal to m into u. Final momentum. Final linear momentum after t time. That is v. So change in momentum change in momentum mv minus u upon change in momentum in t time. So what will be the rate of change of momentum? Therefore, rate of change of linear momentum and it is equal to m v minus u upon t. But v minus u by t, that is the acceleration according to the first law, and it is called the force. Mass into acceleration is the force. So force is what? It is directly proportional to the rate of change of linear momentum. Change of linear momentum. Linear momentum. So rate F directly proportional to the rate of change of linear momentum. So F is it dp by dt, delta t. The second law defined by this relation. So what is the second law? Second law can be defined as the rate of, hence second law can be defined as the rate of change of linear momentum is directly proportional to applied force and the direction of force along the change in motion, direction along the change in momentum. It is the second law. The rate of change of linear momentum is directly proportional to applied force and the direction of the force along the change in momentum. Okay, it is the second law. Now, what are the conclusion by this second law? Now, according to the second law, F is directly proportional to dp by dt. But we know we are using the k here. So d is p is the m into v by dt. K m into dv by dt. But dv by dt is what? That is equal to a. Okay, so F is equal to k m into a. If F is equal to 1, m equal to 1 and a equal to 1, then k is 1 and value of k is always remains constant. That's why we have to consider it as a unit. So k is a 1. Therefore, the force is equal to mass into acceleration. So measurement of the force is given by the second law of motion. Measurement of force is given by the second law of motion. Okay? And one another conclusion, it also gives the definition of first unit force. It gives the definition of unit force. That is, if a force act on body of unit mass, and it creates unit acceleration. Then we say force act on it as unit force. So we get the definition of this one: force act on it on the unit force. That is the unit force. So it is the second law of motion. Okay. So now we come to another concept, that is the impulse. Impulse is what? Impulse, if a large force act on the body for the very short interval of time, then we say the product of that force and time is called the impulse. So impulse is the product of force and a small time. Okay, and it is a very huge knowledge of impulse is very helpful for our daily life. So impulse, if a large force act on body for very short interval of time, then the product of large force and a small interval of time is called impulse. इसी को हम लोग impulse कहते हैं. ठीक है. Impulse, that is the J, denoted by J equal to F into dt. Okay, so J equal to integration of F into dt. That is the total impulse. It is the total impulse. Okay, now impulse momentum theorem. Impulse momentum theorem. Okay, so what is the impulse momentum theorem? According to this theorem, the change in momentum must be equal to impulse imparted on body. Impulse imparted on body. Imparted on body. ठीक है? That is now we prove it now. dj equal to f into dt. But according to second law, f is equal to dp by dt into dt. Therefore dj equal to dp. Integrating both sides, dj total impulse is equal to p initial and p final. dp. So it is equal to J equal to P final minus P initial. That is the change in momentum. चेंज इन मोमेंटम. यहाँ पर गलती से रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम मत लिख देना. रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम फोर्स के इक्वल होता है. ठीक है. नाउ इफ वी ड्रॉ द ग्राफ, इसका ग्राफ देख लो. हियर द टाइम in second and force applied here in Newton. Okay. In case of constant force, it is the constant force. It is for the constant force. The area of such, this area is equal to change in momentum. That is the area of force time graph is equal to change in momentum of the body, change in linear momentum of body. Okay. If we take a variable force, in case of variable force, we get the graph like such graph as this one. It is a very short interval of time, that is delta t, and it is the maximum force acted on it. In this case also the area of f dt, that is the impulse, and this impulse is equal to change in momentum. Okay. So it is the impulse. The application of impulse is very useful in our daily life. First of all, in every vehicle, जितने भी vehicles हैं सब में एक स्प्रिंग लगा हुआ होता है, सॉकेट लगा होता है. Do you know about what is the some car is very luxurious and some car is not a luxurious like that car. So what is the meaning of luxurious? Luxurious means when a car is moving on uneven surface, there should be no any jerk exerted to the people and exerted by the person, exerted to the person which are sitting inside the car. So actually, impulse, when car is moving on the uneven surface, there must be the impulse because कहते हैं जोर का झटका धीरे लगा, बहुत जोर का झटका लगता है उसमें uneven surface में. In that case, a large force exerted by that time for the very short interval of time. In that case, passenger feel a lot of exertion, lot of jerking. To avoid such jerking, we in car, luxurious car, there are the certain springs or that is called the socket. The socket is used in all the vehicles. Without socket, you can't drive on uneven surface. कभी नहीं कर पाओगे अब अनइवन सरफेस यदि सॉकेट नहीं है तो बहुत चोट लगेगी आपको. ठीक है. सेकेंड एप्लीकेशन इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एप्लीकेशन कि जब भी हम क्रॉकरी खरीद के लाते हैं तो क्रॉकरी वाला जो पैकिंग करता है तो वो क्या करता है कि जो भी क्रॉकरी तो रख देता है बीच में, उसको रैपिंग करता है पहले कागज़ में, पेपर पे रैपिंग करके उसके बाद दो क्रॉकरी के बीच में कुछ पेपर स्ट्रॉ डाल देता है. उससे क्या होता है कि जो फोर्स यदि एक्सर्ट करेगा वो, ठीक है, तो उस पेपर स्ट्रॉ के कारण जो बहुत सारे पेपर स्ट्रॉ उसमें भरे हुए हैं, ठीक है, तो पीसेज ऑफ पेपर्स होते हैं, तो उसमें उसके कारण जो टाइम जो फोर्स का जो ड्यूरेशन है, फोर्स के मूवमेंट का जो ड्यूरेशन है वो इंक्रीज हो जाता है. और टाइम बढ़ने के कारण क्या होगा, यदि टाइम बढ़ गया तो टाइम बढ़ने से क्या होगा, फोर्स कम हो जाएगा. आजकल IPL चल रहा है, आपने देखा, आप भी क्रिकेट खेलते हो, कैच कैसे करते हैं बॉल को जब भी कैच करते हैं यूँ कैच ले करके और अपने हाथ को पीछे लाते हैं। तो पीछे लाने का मतलब क्या है? टाइम इंक्रीज करना तो फोर्स कम हो जाएगा, फोर्स कम होगा तो चोट कम लगेगी। सो दीज आर द application in our daily life for the impulse. Okay, so now we also see there's some example related to impulse. Then we discuss about the third law. Okay, so what is first of all we discuss the third law, then we will taking all the problem at a time. Third law of motion. Third law is every action there is equal and opposite reaction. And action and reaction take place on two different bodies. Okay, suppose we have the two bodies here, and F12 acting towards this B, and F21 acting towards A. So it is the third law of motion, and third law of motion given the certain conclusion. So what are the conclusion? First conclusion, according to third law of motion, forces are not found as isolated forces are not possible. First conclusion, isolated force is not possible, it is always फाउंड एज अ पेयर. ये कभी भी सिंगल नहीं होता, ये हमेशा पेयर के फॉर्म में रहेंगे. पहला कंक्लूजन. इसीलिए जब हम इसके क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे फोर्सेस के, और मान लो फोर्स पर किसी बॉडी पर एक ही फोर्स लग रहा है, जैसे सपोज कि बॉडी पे ये फोर्स लग रहा है और यहाँ कोई बॉडी रखी हुई है F4, तो इसके ऊपर भी एक स्यूडो फोर्स कंसीडर कर लेते हैं उसके अपोजिट में, क्योंकि ये कहता है कि इट इज ऑलवेज एज अ पेयर. एंड सेकेंड कंक्लूजन, द नेचर ऑफ एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर मस्ट बी सेम. ये जब तक एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर सेम नहीं होगा तब तक हम लोग द नेचर ऑफ द एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर मस्ट बी सेम. होता क्या है कि कई बार जैसे अपन ने सेंट्रीपिटल सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स होता है सर्कुलर मोशन में, वो मैं अलग वीडियो बनाऊंगा सर्कुलर मोशन की, उसमें बता देता हूँ. एक सिंपल सी बात बताता हूँ. जनरली हम लोग लिखते हैं mg और एक नॉर्मल रिएक्शन यहाँ से आता है. These two are equal. They will cancel to each other's effect. But these two are not a action reaction pair because it is the contact force and it is the gravitational force. तो ये कभी भी जो नेचर ऑफ एक्शन रिएक्शन सेम होना चाहिए, कभी भी डिफरेंट नहीं होना चाहिए, उसको एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर नहीं मानेंगे. अब यहाँ पे एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर क्या है पता है? यहाँ पे इंटरमॉलिकुलर फोर्स लगता है एक दूसरे की तरफ. दैट इज द एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर इन दिस केस. सो एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर मस्ट बी same. Okay, so today we discussed the introduction of three laws, Newton's laws and inertia, and in next video we discuss about the different problems related to this law of conservation of momentum, and very important, that is the mechanics. So we will give in next video, next 2 or 3 videos. Okay, thank you.